are you really optimistic that this is going to lead to change, or are we just seeing government sort of pander, do a few moves, allow the big food companies to switch a name? This is what drugs do all the time. You get pulled off for one thing, whether it's Vioxx or something else. They admit it killed people. They shift it a little bit and create a new drug, and they continue doing the same thing. So where are your thoughts around that? Are we really on this precipice of change?
I hope so. We're optimistic that I
Yeah.
mean, you can't really dial this back. Once people know this information, and like you can't really,
Walk it back.
walk it backwards. Now, what you may see is you may see with the Red 3 ban, you may see Red 40 come in and take the place, and like
Hmm.
everywhere they had Red 3 before, it's just going to be Red 40. So that's why we feel like you got to stay vigilant. We got to keep spreading the word. We got to keep writing politicians. I don't think. I mean, one place I'm not super optimistic. I don't necessarily see the FDA stepping up and reevaluating these things. Maybe they will, but it doesn't. If you look at
They're not
the
going to
history,
unless we put a fire on their desk.
I
That's
think
for sure.
I think our best bet is at the state level right now. Like
A metaphorical fire. No one
mean-
set fire to the FDA's desk.
Like California, last year became the first state to ban all the dyes in public schools, and then, of course they were the first state to ban Red 3. Now, like Whitney said, I want to say that Arizona, what I read, don't quote me on this, but I think Arizona did just pass a bill to ban it in public schools.
Well, in Utah. Utah's working
we-
on one. West Virginia.
We testified in Virginia on a bill that all that's left is for the governor to sign it. New York has a
New
bill on the
York, yep.
table. So like like the state level
And
eventually.
those are just the states that we have personally either talked to a state representative or a lobbyist or someone where we've connected pieces. I think it's also really great to point out that historically Democrats have been the policy or have been the party that have passed bills in regards to synthetic dyes and have pushed it. But Republicans are really getting on board. This is something every single person should care about. And so, I mean, that's really rare to find something that both Democrats and Republicans can agree on. And of course, not every person that is in a party will agree on this. But what we have seen is, we even testified at a Senate hearing or at a subcommittee hearing, and we saw it pass right in front of us. And it was just so easy. And every time it's been addressed in regards to synthetic dyes in public schools, it's just been unanimous, and it's been a bipartisan support. And it's been really great to see not only California, but other states, both Democratic and Republican states, are picking up on this. And it really seems like it's something everyone should get behind. I really hope to see, synthetic dyes as being the starting point and people getting on board with protecting children and looking at the chemicals in our food. I would really hope that we could put policy or put parties aside and just really focus on what's best for everyone, because we care about everyone, whether you agree with our political views or not.
And on top of that, we're talking about children here, right?
Exactly.
We're talking about the most innocent and the future generations here. We don't want them to be sick. The trends don't look good with health issues with children. We have to do everything possible. And that's why I'm incredibly optimistic. You have wonderful people like yourself putting information out there, but you have people like Bobby Kennedy, right? That's really, really, I think, knowledgeable in all this, and hopefully gets to that position at the top of HHS and can do some change. I do think it's a challenge. I'm sure you guys agree that it's not easy, but I do think it's a challenge worth accepting if we're talking about children here.